Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Retro Wrestling Revival. Hope everybody's doing wonderful tonight. Hopefully your week has been great. We are going to have a great time tonight. We're going to be talking some Monday Night Raw from August 18th, 1997. We're going back in the time machine. I am John Wangland, and joining me, as always, on this wonderful show is my partner, Brother Martin. How you doing, Mr. Martin? You doing well?
I'm doing well, brother. I just want to say this from the bottom of my heart, man. It's fun to be back here, man. It's Thursday night. We're going to go back in the time machine, if you will, and we're going to watch some Monday Night Raw. This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We went hog wild last week, or road wild, whatever the way you want to say it. Now we're getting raw, baby, down and dirty. And I just want to say, the sponsor of this show is Hot Ice. Best of both worlds. But I'm doing good, John. I'm excited, brother.
Well, it is wonderful for everybody to be here with us. Welcome, Rand. How are you tonight? Jeremy, what do you want to talk about tonight? What do you guys want to talk about? We're going to talk about some Raw and whatever else we want to talk about, some conversations. This is the high time of the Monday Night Wars, Mr. Rand McPhail. That is for sure. And we're going to have a great time discussing this Raw. And hopefully it's great. You know, Raw sometimes in this era leaves a lot to be desired. Sometimes it's really awesome. You never really know what you're going to get with it, but that's wrestling. You know, you have good shows and you have bad shows. And this show, I think, will probably be pretty good. It's got a pretty solid card on it tonight, Chris. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, every time I say that, though, you know, it ends up being a stinker. So
yeah, that's
when the ones that we least expect sometimes are the best ones. So, hey, I go into it with zero expectations, just here to have a good time.
Amen, brother. I love it, man. So, like, what do we got on the docket tonight for Monday Night Raw?
Well, this Monday Night Raw is from Atlantic City, New Jersey. So this is coming from Atlantic City, New Jersey. And here's the card tonight. We got the Hart Foundation, Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. They're taking on the Legion of Doom. We've seen that a bunch of times over the last few months on Raw.
We have. I mean, because this is almost like watching the Steiners versus Harlem Heat or Public Enemy.
We're going to get it over and over and over.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, sir. Well, then the next one we got, Flash Funk's taking on Brian Christopher. That might be a good match.
Okay, I can see that.
I like Too Cold Scorpio, and I like Grandmaster Sexay.
Yes, Grandmaster
before
Sexay,
he was
baby.
Grandmaster Sexay. This next match, I don't have a lot of hope for, but we will see how it goes. It's Ken Shamrock taking on the Sultan.
Yeah, that's going to be a shit show.
Yeah. Did you see Rikishi has a new rap video out? Dogging on Hogan.
No, Okay, we definitely have to check that out. I'm okay.
It's out on iTunes and everything. He released a rap video or no, a rap album, and one of the ones is dogging on the Hulkster for some reason. I don't know why.
But does that have to do with what Hogan said a few years ago that was inappropriate? I mean, I
I
but
listened to about 30 seconds of it and flipped it off because it was awful.
okay.
No, no offense to the Hall of Famer Rikishi, but I have no interest in listening to him rap. So
Because like the Big Quiche, he's a legend, so like we
yes.
will acknowledge that. But yeah, just I'm good. I don't care to hear him rap.
Yeah, if you're ever interested to go listen to it, though, it is on all the major outlets, and you can go listen to it if you would like to. So,
I
we also
gotcha.
have Jesse James taking on Brian Pillman tonight.
The real Double J.
The real Double J, Jesse James,
That's right.
taking on Brian
So,
Pillman, and I don't know, I don't have a lot of high hopes for that. This is the Brian Pillman in a dress era, right now.
oh my God, yes, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, because he lost his match at SummerSlam, which meant he had to wear a dress. So
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
for
So
gold
this is the
dust.
Pillman in a dress era. So I don't know. I don't have too big of hopes for it, but who knows? We'll see how that one
Okay.
goes. Then we got one of your silent favorites. The Patriot is taking on Vader.
Yes. Okay, I could see.
Maybe
Okay.
that might be good. I know Leon is not at his best shape at this point in time. He's on the downward slide, so to speak. But I'm always down for the Patriot. I always like Del Wilkes' work.
Yes, Mr. Del Wilkes.
White meat baby face all day to me.
Yes. Yes, we got nothing but the utmost love and respect for Mr. Wilkes.
Yes, sir. The main event,
R.I.P.
this might be really good. I have good thoughts about this. I think it might be a good one.
What's
It's going to
that?
be Mankind and The Undertaker taking on Shawn Michaels and Triple H in the main event.
Oh, okay. Yes, that I can definitely I can definitely digest. I think
I
that's
can
going to
get
be
behind
good.
that one. It sounds pretty
Yes.
solid, don't you think?
Yes, yes, like without a doubt. I think that's going to be a barn burner, if you will.
It's going to be a bomb burner. And before we get started here tonight, I want to throw out a plug for our sponsor of this episode tonight. I'm going to put this in the comments. It is Epic Shirts. So we are a part of their affiliate program with Epic Shirts, and they got some cool stuff that you definitely want to check out. I'm going to put the website out, and they have everything, Chris. They got wrestling shirts, they got movie shirts, they got funny shirts, they got a whole bunch of stuff. Jeremy was sending me some of the ones he's going to be picking up from their site the other night. Man, they got a whole plethora of good stuff. Have you had a chance to check out their stuff yet?
I have actually, and one of like my friends, they actually said to me that they're going to order like a shirt, and they're not the biggest fan of the owner of Twitter, and they're buying a shirt that says "F you, Elon Musk." So apparently the website sells that. So I'm just saying.
They do. They have some really, really funny shirts on there, and you definitely want to check it out. So I'm going to put this in the chat. You guys can see it on YouTube and on Facebook. And all you got to do is enter the code RW Revival, and you get 10% off your order there. And you can check out their website as well. So epicshirts.ca, enter the code RW Revival for 10% off. You can't beat that. Yeah, Jeremy likes the one. He's got the Mortal Kombat shirt that he's going to be picking up, and he thinks is that's his top one. They got some really cool ones. So please give some love out to our sponsor for this episode, Epic Shirts. And please go and check out the great stuff that they got on there. They got tons of stuff, whether you like
Tons,
wrestling
baby.
or whatever you like. Hey, what's going on, Derek? How are you tonight, my friend? Great to see you out again tonight, Mr. Derek Everhart. And a shout out to Derek's great
Oh, hell
group,
yeah.
Pro Wrestling Takeover, man. They got an awesome group on Facebook, and we like
They
to
do.
post our stuff over there, and they're nice enough to let us put our links up, and they got some fun topics and information on there all the time. So please go check out Pro Wrestling Takeover. They got some cool stuff on Facebook as well. Rand says Loose Cannon Brian Pillman in a dress versus the Road Dog, the real Double J. Yes, sir. We are going to get that tonight, my friend.
That's
well,
right.
Chris, you ready to roll, buddy?
I'm ready to rock and roll, baby. Let's do this.
All right. So if you guys want to watch along with us, it's the August 18th, 1997 Monday Night Raw. You can find it on Peacock. You probably find it somewhere else. We watch it on Peacock. So we're going to start right from the beginning. And you got it locked, loaded, and ready to go, my friend.
Yes, brother, I do. Let's do this.
All right. So if you guys want to go and watch with us, please join us. If not, we're just going to talk and have some conversation. And if the matches suck, we'll have some other great conversation because we always love to talk about various things here on the show. So we are going to go in 3, 2, and 1. Hit that play button now.
In 14,000 countries.
And more than 500 million people watch it every week. The most bullshit statement in the world from WWE at this point.
Now, would you believe it if they said it today?
I still would not believe it.
Okay.
I believe the amount of countries and that they're exposed in all those different countries, but 500 million, at a given time, not really. I don't think so. I think they definitely got some great numbers, but 500 million is a lot.
That is. Do you think Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to come out with a flamethrower tonight?
I can only hope that he will. I can only hope that he will, Chris, because that's what we need. We need somebody coming out in a pink robe and with Tony Khan as the driver and coming out with a flamethrower to burn everybody.
Hold on. Tony was the driver? I didn't see that part.
Tony was the driver. He gave him a fist bump, bro.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he gave him the fist bump, as Darby in his pink robe ended up coming with the flamethrower.
Wait. So you're telling me that they're actually doing storylines now?
I guess. If you call it that.
It's been 5 years, so
rest in peace, AEW, Jeremy says.
Yes.
This is the end point of the new generation. That's for sure, Rand. It's really slowly turning into the Attitude Era now. Tony gave a new definition to baby driver.
Yes.
What's going on, Jude? Great to see you out again, my friend.
I love it.
And the thing
is that, like, for me, I mean, we've spoken about this before, but I think like the birth, the definitive birth of the Attitude Era was WrestleMania 14 for me. I think you had Mike Tyson, you had DX, Stone Cold, all that stuff, like a perfect storm, and it just. Or would you say that was like the big, huge celebration saying, hey, we've arrived?
It was a slow transformation to me, that it slowly became that from this point. Ravishing Rick Rude is here. I'm all for this. Great music for the legend. One of my all-time favorites is Ravishing Rick Rude. This guy's the fucking man. Just got to throw that out there.
Rick Rude, absolute legend. And the thing is that everything... And apparently our 22,000 followers here on Facebook, by the way, thank you for that, guys.
His music is great.
They absolutely love Rick Rude too, because every single time we post Rick Rude content, it gets thousands upon thousands of views. So Rick is the man.
Here's the link for the Pro Wrestling Takeover group, guys. It's right in the chat, so make sure you click on it and go check it out 100%.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely. Go out there. The more the merrier in the groups to getting to talk wrestling and having a great time. Jeremy's got a great question for everybody coming soon.
God.
I love it.
Did you hear him?
What did he say?
He said the Atlantic City Sweat Hogs.
Yes! I love it.
This is awesome.
Bro, the Atlantic City Sweat Hogs are in full force in this crowd tonight. Wow. And there was a definite meth or crack epidemic going on over there.
Good God. Wow. Okay, so...
You ever been to Atlantic City?
I've never been to Atlantic City.
What a shithole. I've been there more than a few times. I live very close to it.
You live right up the road from there. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, so like years ago, we had a vacation planned, and they overbooked at our timeshare. So it was last minute. We couldn't get anything else. All they had was Atlantic City, bro. And we spent a week and a half in Atlantic City. It was the worst vacation I've ever had in my life. It was so bad.
Virginia Beach.
Worse than Virginia Beach, bro. You were digging your hands in there, and all you were pulling out was fucking seaweed. Like out of the thing. You couldn't even swim in it. We went to a private beach, couldn't swim in it. They were digging the beach out when we were there. Awful.
God. Yeah, because I remember last year you called me from Virginia Beach and you said I can't get out of here quick enough. It is a massive shit.
Get me out of here. That was like a year or two ago. What a dump.
Yes.
No offense to the Virginia Beach folks. I love it. I got a couple of friends that live down there, but I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah, they were really going back to the new generation point here, with Rude's getting a little edgy right now, and I like that with Vince, but they start really slowly transforming into the Attitude Era here shortly. When was the definitive moment? I have to say it was the night after WrestleMania, You know, that's to me. I mean, yeah, they started it, but it really became the Attitude Era to me the
With
night after.
X-Pac and all that, like the
Yep.
debut of
The
X-Pac.
real cool version of DX. I know DX did a lot of cool stuff before that,
Yeah.
but they became like a whole different animal at that point to me. And then
That's the best version.
yeah, then you had Vince McMahon coming out trying to tame Stone Cold and make him into a corporate champion and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then you saw the birth of the Mr. McMahon character shortly after. So it was a slow evolution, but to me, that was the big turning point. What do you guys think? What was the turning point for you when they became the Attitude Era? I want to hear from you guys.
By the way, and which I'm going to say this right now because which I was talking to you before, like we went on air. If there's any fans out there that watch our content and they get offended because we speak about Chris Benoit or Vince McMahon, you can go elsewhere because ultimately
we're talking about their wrestling, not their personality.
Thank you. We're not focusing on their actions outside of the ring. We're focusing on what they've done in the sports entertainment realm on television.
Yeah, we're not talking about their personality. In my opinion, the Attitude Era started in March 97 when Raw became Raw is War. Rand says for him when Terry Funk came out with a chainsaw. All right.
That is awesome.
Okay. Everybody's kind of got their own point where it started for them. And they're all great points. You know, they're all great time periods. That slow evolution away from New Generation was just fantastic because as we've seen here, New Generation has really sucked.
Oh, yeah. Which I agree. The only great thing about the New Generation, like in my opinion, is the matches. Not some of the matches. Especially like with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I believe when it comes to the in-ring product, that was Shawn and Bret's time to shine, was showing their abilities. But about 90% of it was a complete. Good God, it was a shit show.
So Jeremy poses a question here. If you can create a wrestling moment or match that never happened, what would it be? Match I'll go with. I'll give you a match. I would want to see Kurt Angle, Bret Hart.
Yeah. God, that'd have been amazing.
Kurt Angle and Bret Hart. Wrestling Machine, Kurt Angle and Bret Hart. That's what I want to see for a match.
Or Kurt versus Shamrock.
Be all right. I'm more for Kurt and Bret. I've always wanted to see that match. I'm a huge fan of both of them.
I gotcha.
Look at them here. Look at here, the old boardwalk on Atlantic City.
Good God.
Jeez, look at that.
The match for me, this is which surprisingly never happened, and both of these guys worked in the company at the same time. Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero in their prime.
They never had a match?
Nope. They've never faced each other. So just imagine Eddie versus Shawn WrestleMania in their prime. Do you just the magic they could make?
Man, they would have a special match for sure. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah.
A moment. I would have loved to have seen Sting come over to WWF after and be the spearheading the invasion angle.
I agree 1,000%. I think that was a huge missed opportunity, but like Sting said, the moment where he said no, it was whenever he was watching the Booker T and the Rock promo. Yep. And
bro, look at all those signs in the audience. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just have to say that. Look at those freaking signs, bro.
That is awesome. But do you realize how pissed the people? Wait, what?
One of the signs says Kmart sucks.
I agree.
Look at this match in Ground Zero. Austin and Dude Love in the Legion of Doom versus the Godwins and Owen and Davey. That's a unique match, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. And but no, like the thing is like I was saying, whenever it came down to it, the reason why Sting said no was because there was a promo where like The Rock was addressing Booker T, and this was the lead up to like their match at SummerSlam 2001, and The Rock blatantly said, "Who the hell are you?"
Jeez.
And Sting basically said, "Well, if you're going to treat a legend like Booker T like that, God only knows how they're going to treat me."
Yeah, I can understand his point behind it at that point. Derek said in late 2005, Shawn versus Eddie was originally planned for WrestleMania 22 in 2006, but Eddie passed away. Man, what a shame we missed out on that as a matchup.
Just saying, like the promos, everything. It would have been amazing.
Shawn's work is second to none in the ring. You know, many people think Shawn Michaels is one of the greatest, if not the greatest worker of all time, which, you know, I'm not denying, you know, that's a very valid point. You know, everybody's got opinions on what they like, and boy, Shawn was a hell of a worker.
I would say Shawn's top 5 for me. But like the greatest worker of all time, Bret Hart.
I got to go with Bret Hart as my all-around greatest worker too. Yeah. Technically, as a wrestler, you know, just on the wrestling perspective of it, I'm going to probably go with Bret.
Yep, I agree 1,000%.
I love Bret Hart matches. I love me some Bret Hart matches for sure.
And
a lively crowd here in Atlantic City, Chris.
Hey, man, meth, crack, and mixed
and
alcohol.
Plenty of booze and gambling. It does it for you.
You booze, you lose. I'm just saying. Which I actually betted on a few things.
Did you win?
Which I have not checked yet, but
okay.
But I betted $25 and I had the potential to win like $3,000. So I'm like, all right, why not? Which it's through like the Prize Pick app, which it's absolutely a phenomenal app to bet with. And it would be cool if they could sponsor the show. Just saying, just throwing it out there.
I've had betting sites before. I'll have to go look back into it again. So I've had betting sites as sponsors. I had long-term actually for a few years with them. So
oh yeah.
Let me reach back out and see. Shawn versus Macho is the start to the new generation. I've never seen that match that I remember. Do you?
I don't remember, but honestly, I would like to find that and post it.
Might be a good one to look up for the site, for the show, for the Facebook page. I'm a Shawn guy. He's my goat, Derek. Definitely not a bad pick with Shawn, man. He's one of the fucking greatest for sure. Jeremy says, for me, it would be Sting. Wouldn't have got injured. Sting would become WWE champ and drops the title at Mania to Orton and retires. Sadly, he ends it with the Young Sucks. They gave him a good send-off, though, in fairness to AEW. They gave him a good send-off. But
that's the only good thing that Tony Khan's done this year. That's the only good thing.
It was a great send-off for him. He did very right by him. I'll be the first to make critiques to AEW at times, but I think he did a very good job with that.
Yeah.
Dude, this crowd is loaded, bro. They are loaded on crack, meth, God knows what else, drinking, gambling, debauchery. These guys and girls here in this crowd in Atlantic City, they are lively. Look at that guy wearing the number 17 jersey. He can't sit still.
He can't.
He's fucking in the back there, Raylan Ritalin and shit, and Adderall in the back, I guarantee you.
Well, Ritalin and Adderall, like they're one chemical compound away from methamphetamines. so there you go. Just saying. So yeah, you're right about that.
Bulldog still looks in great shape here, and it's sad to see in about a year or so when he goes to WCW how bad he looks and how bad that run with WCW was for him.
Oh yeah,
I was always a Bulldog fan.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of phenomenal content, guys, make sure that you check out the show that John did on Tuesday. Absolutely outstanding topic with the New Blood. I'm just saying, dude, like that's one of my favorite shows that you guys have done.
We have a great group that comes out on Tuesday nights for the streams like we do every night, man. You guys are loyal and wonderful, man, and they always make it interesting, especially when we turn it over at the end to everybody for whatever they're thinking. Yes. And we always get some great topics and stuff. That New Blood topic was a lot of fun.
It was
a lot of fun. We've never talked about it on the show.
And the thing is that, which is crazy to think, what if like the New Blood would have actually worked? Would WCW still be around? I'm just saying. And the thing is that most people that are not fans of like the TNA wrestling, they don't realize that Russo redid the New Blood gimmick in the TNA with the SEX stable versus the NWA. And just saying, guys, just an awesome topic.
He's got a good moment here. HBK would be the third man, not Hogan. Boy, that would have been interesting.
Wasn't Shawn negotiating with WCW, or like there's a possibility of him going?
I think there was like a small possibility, but I don't think he was ever planning on leaving. Vince gave him free reign to do whatever he wanted, basically.
What do you think Shawn Michaels had on Vince?
I don't know, man. I think Vince just knew he was kind of his cash cow at that moment. And you know how Vince gets with his cash cows. Uh-oh, the Godwins are in here and just nailed the LOD. Animal just got nailed in the head with that slop can.
Oh, what
That's
a
it
rush.
for that match. Phineas is taking the boots to Animal.
It's over. All right.
A lot of bad blood. Henry got his neck broken by the Legion of Doom, and legitly in real life.
Yeah.
I remember he talked about that with us, or when I did the interview with him a couple years back, and he had no ill will towards the Legion of Doom for it, but they legitly broke his neck, and it impacted him the rest of his career.
I mean, because it wasn't intentional.
No, it definitely wasn't. It was a mistake. LOD, though, at this point, let's be realistic. They're my favorite tag team of all time for me. And they're kind of a shell of themselves at this point, too.
They're just cashing checks.
Yeah, and, you can't blame them for that.
That's true.
You can't blame them for it. They kind of bounce back and forth between WCW and WWF, a little bit. And I don't know what it was. They always got a spot over there, wherever they wanted to go. People always wanted to recognize the the Road Warrior pop and the Legion of Doom pop, whatever you want to call it. And they always got a great reaction from people. It's sad to think neither of them are with us anymore,
I agree 1,000%. And it's just a shame. And speaking of individuals that aren't here, the message Jeremy just posted.
Yeah. 25 years ago today, we lost a good one with Owen Hart. Yeah.
Where were you, John, whenever Owen passed?
I was not watching it. I did not get the pay-per-view. But I remember checking it out, afterwards and hearing what happened. I think a friend of mine who had saw it had called me up and told me about what happened, and I was kind of blown away. And the internet wasn't prevalent then like it is now, so you didn't have the everything right from the at the click of your fingers or your cell phone. Yeah. So I remember checking it out, and man, it was rough. It still breaks my heart to this day, bro.
I know, because it could have been avoided.
Really could have been. It was just sloppy nonsense and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
LOD versus the Headbangers. Never been a Headbanger fan, Ran. The Road Warriors got the Tom Stone pop, Daniel said. What's going on, Daniel?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
As a kid, this SummerSlam build and the fallout felt massive. Yeah, 100%, Derek. I remember that same stuff, too. I was in high school at this point.
For me, with Owen, I was coming back from a Baltimore Orioles game. Me and my dad, and my brother, we just watched the O's play at the wonderful, wonderful Camden Yards. And so I turned the news on, and my mom said to me, "Sweetie, you're hopefully this won't ruin your night." So I said, "What?" And they were and the local news was doing a report about Owen, who passed away. So I remember it like it was yesterday.
Daniel says, "Rest in peace, Owen." 25 years and was watching the show live. He just couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was one of those surreal moments that people just couldn't imagine would happen.
Yeah,
couldn't imagine it.
Well, it's one of those things, especially if you're a wrestling fan, you knew exactly where you were at that moment. And it's kind of like with Eddie, which I remember where I was whenever I found out that just those moments that just stick out in your mind. That's with Bray passing away, which I was working in the Money Center, and there was a fan of ours that messaged me and said, "Hey, Chris, will you guys be doing a story on Bray passing?" And I thought the kid was joking. I'm like, wait a minute, what? So I had to look it up, and yeah. So
holy hell, Sonny looks good here, Chris.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry to divert this for a second. She just looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She was my first crush in wrestling.
She's had better days. Let's just say that.
As now. When Brian Pillman passed away, I remember the night after when they brought Melanie on, Rand. And
the night after?
It was the night after the day of Melanie was on the show. they did an interview with her. It was so fucking tasteless to do. So stupid. Yeah,
I mean,
pre-diabetic Sonny, 100%
yeah.
Jeremy.
How would you? Okay, John. Let's say that like a family member of yours, like that passed away, and like the very next night, let's say you worked on like a live TV show, and like they said to you, "How do you feel, John?" How would you react?
I'd be like, yeah, I feel wonderful.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, my sister just died, and I'll give my sister because she passed away when she was 31. My sister died. Yeah, that's how I am. I feel wonderful about it. Thank you for asking. Like, how tasteless though it was to bring her on. Probably not one of the best moments for them. Sonny's looking good is not something her inmates will say.
Well, wait, hold on. They could always shut the lights off, watch the network, and just imagine the way
she's been complaining about the conditions in the medical treatment. This is one of the news headlines this week. She's complaining about the conditions in the medical treatment she's receiving in prison right now. So sorry, Sonny.
She did it to herself.
Yeah.
I don't feel
With Brian Christopher's outfit here is fucking spectacular.
It is outstanding.
Here comes Flash Funk. Absolutely zero reaction. He does look like one of the Atlantic City natives dressed as a pimp. So
I agree.
He fits in well there, but dude, he looks so high right now.
It's a damn shame because he was such a massive star in World Championship Wrestling, and
she looks so hot at this point, Rand. Yeah. I got to give Sonny credit. Like I said, she was my first crush. And she looks like a 10 right here tonight. And I'm not even into white women. White women, yeah. Everybody who knows me knows I'm an Asian woman guy. Like my ex-wife's Asian. Like I'm into Asian women. That's for me. Yeah. But my gosh, this version of Sonny is a 10. She's smoking ass hot right here. It doesn't get much better. Trish Stratus, I will say, was better to me though.
Yeah, well, that's like for me, which I'm into thicker white girls, and which I love black women as well. So, like for me, which I got like my taste.
We all got our flavors, baby. It's like Baskin Robbins. You got 31 different flavors of it.
And the thing is that. And Sonny wasn't my cup of tea, but the fact is you can't deny it. But but
what Sonny wants, Sonny gets, unless it comes to prison medical conditions. Sonny was top notch and my first crush too. Daniel said Trish 2000 smokes her though. I firmly agree with that. There's nobody in wrestling that ever tops Trish in looks. Next to mouth, Sonny will be smoking guns.
Oh, you know what? I disagree. I believe that 1994 Bertha Faye.
Oh, she was a babe.
She was
a babe.
Big Booty Judy. You got
Big Booty Judy Bagwell. What a babe she is too.
Miss NWO. I mean, come on, guys.
Oh, yeah, like nothing but the finest. The one that got me, Jeremy says, the one that got me was I got a phone call at a baseball game that Piper died. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember when Rowdy died. You know, the one that really got me too was Scott Hall. Scott Hall is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
And that one broke my heart because I've always been a Scott Hall guy.
I was at work when I heard Scott died, and
that sucked.
And the thing is that which I cried over it, man. And the thing is that which I want to let like the wrestling fans out there right now let you guys know, like there's nothing wrong with showing emotion when like these men and women pass away, because the fact is that you get emotionally invested with who they are, what they're about, and the fact is that they bring you joy and they bring you happiness. You have that connection with them. So like there's nothing wrong with feeling sad when something happens to them. Just throwing that out there, because it pisses me off with those people saying, "Oh, you're a mark, you're a dork, you're this, you're that," if you cry because a wrestler dies. I think that's stupid. But
Daniel says, I was at work finding out about Macho Man and it floored me. Rand said Scott Hall was the same day as Stephen Hawkins, 1 year apart. Interesting.
Yeah. Yes.
There is zero heat on this Memphis shit that they're doing. I just don't get why they decided to do this for so long. The
Yes.
crowd was dead for it every time. Have
I
you
agree.
seen, in the months that they've been doing this, that we've been watching this, have you seen at one point where this got any type of heat or good reaction from the crowd?
No.
I can't remember any.
Not in the slightest.
You know who's in the front row though? Super fan Vladimir.
I love
That documentary was great on him.
Absolutely awesome. I love Vlad. I think Vlad deserves free lifetime tickets. Just
I
saying.
should give it to him. He's a good dude, man. Oh boy.
Oh, God.
Brian's on the top. Jerry distracted him, telling him to pile drive him, and then he just took a nut shot. Now Flash is going to go up for the 450. Scorpio could move though, man. For a guy his size.
Oh God, he could. Beautiful 450.
You know he's still wrestling now.
Really?
Yeah, he still competes pretty regularly on the independent circuit.
I did not know that.
He did a show up around here a couple years ago.
I mean,
he's always around. The Memphis stuff didn't work with the crowd. It wasn't 1993 anymore. Stuff still didn't get over unless you were the Gigolo.
Oh my goodness.
Gigolo.
Yes.
Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey. What a guy.
Dude, you talk about a legend and just an amazing human being. That is just an inspiration. God broke the mold when he made Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey.
The Gigolo is just a man among men, boys. You know, amongst boys. We all pale in comparison to the Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey. This guy was just something special.
I agree,
I mean, I just got to say that the Gigolo is forever over with me. There's nobody that has the moves like the Gigolo. Oh, I don't know why they didn't have him on all the time, Chris. I just got to say that. I'll probably get a copyright hit for this, but I really don't give a fuck. And I'm not going to keep it on for too long, but let's get a Gigolo sighting.
Yes.
Gigolo's here. There he is.
Oh my God, yes.
Come on, Jimmy, dance for us. Let's go.
That's what I'm
Look at the Gigolo shuffle. What a guy.
Wow.
Can you imagine the tail the Gigolo? Look at that. Look at Jimmy's got the moves.
Absolutely.
Dude, this guy was pounding every rat at all the stops.
Chef
Look
kiss,
at the Gigolo.
man.
One more time. There's for the Gigolo. Gotta go,
That's
Jimmy.
There
hit him under 30 seconds.
Well, as long as we agree to like a revenue split, I'm sure they'll be okay with it.
Gotta love the Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey.
Yes.
The NWA revival in '98 was so freaking bad, Derek. Oh, God.
According to Vince Russo, they did it just to shut Cornette up.
Jeez.
So, yeah, just saying.
Crazy how it's the 25th anniversary of Owen's passing. It's also Bray's birthday. I didn't know that today.
Really?
Too Cold's going to be at AML next month. He'll be dancing around in Brad Attitude's world. Congratulations to Brad, who held on to his title once again.
Do you blame them? I mean, would you have the balls to book somebody to beat Brad? I'm just saying, I couldn't do it. Which I would have to turn the pen over to a stronger man. Because Brad just give you one look.
Brad's a friend of mine, and I'll say this, man. This guy's been pounding, you know what, all across anywhere he wants to go. Yes. He's been kicking ass and taking names, beating everybody's ass all across North Carolina. He's the real tribal chief, Mr. Brad Attitude. One day I got to get Brad doesn't do podcasts, but one day I got to get him on the show.
That'd be awesome.
I always support Brad. He's a good dude.
A shot of attitude within.
They couldn't even track ratings when the Gigolo was on. The ratings even went berserk.
Oh my God, yes.
37 Bray would have been, man. Just terrible.
They
don't book Brad. Brad lets them know what he's doing. That's damn right.
That's right.
Shamrock looks amazing here, bro.
Oh God, yeah. Speaking of Shamrock, have you seen the screenshots of the movie The Rock's doing right now?
Yes, I have.
He looks unrecognizable.
He's playing the Smashing Machine, Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
He fits right in with Mark Kerr's look. Mark Kerr was a notorious juice head with steroids, so I'm sure he made sure to take a ton extra to get that extra Mark Kerr look. The best interview ever about Mark Kerr is Don Fry with what he says about Mark Kerr.
Okay, what does he say?
Should I pop it up?
Do it. Yeah. Okay. Or you could do your impersonation.
I like Don Fry. You little drink here. He goes,
trough.
he goes, Mark. I can't even do it any justice. It's so good. Mark Kerr's a fucking pansy. He's a fucking pussy. That guy's a fucking bitch. You fucking juice head. Fucking popping those fucking steroids. That candy ass still couldn't fucking do. He's got fucking pillows for hands. Fucking baby. Goddamn bitch. Listen to, just type in on YouTube later. Don Fry, Mark Kerr. You'll thank me later. Don Fry is a fucking national treasure when they give this guy a microphone. He is fucking great.
This guy drinks from a trough. Okay,
he drinks from a horse trough, folks. Literally. Okay. Let me get my little drink here. You know, one of the most wild conversations I ever had with my life was when I was doing the show with Dan, and we were trying to get Don on, and Don was supposed to be part of the show, and Don had just had back surgery, massive back surgery, and was in the hospital, and we just couldn't get him going, and then he had a setback with it, and I got a chance to talk to him one day on the phone. This was just out of the fucking blue. I'm trying to give him ideas for the show, how we can get him incorporated in or whatever. Yeah. And it was one of the most wild hours of my life was talking to him. Nice dude, man. This fucking guy is off the chain fucking great. Like, I'll just say that. Him and Mark Coleman are two of the most interesting conversations I've ever had in all the interviews that we've done through the years or people that we've had on the show.
Really?
That dude, Mark Coleman's a great fucking guy too. I'm not even going to say the conversation I had with him. No, it's not fair. He's been in a bad way at certain points. Great dude though, man. Don Fry is a fucking treasure. Great wrestler too. He was over in Japan with Pancrase and big star over there, you know. Great legend. Just look up his interview with Mark Kerr, folks. You will thank me. They tried to find someone to play Don Fry, but nobody was man enough to pull it off. That dude's mustache has its own zip code.
Okay. Who do you think would be like a good Don Fry?
You couldn't.
Person. Okay.
You couldn't. That man's he's one in a million. He really is. He's one in a million. These original UFC fighters, like the Shamrocks, like the Fries, the Severns, all those guys, they're in a world of their own, bro. These guys were legit badasses, all of them. You know, I'm not saying that they're as technically sound as some of, the people out there now, of course, because the sport's evolved. Dude, Ken Shamrock, people don't realize how fucking feared he was by people.
He was literally called the world's most dangerous man.
Seriously, and I know he lost his fair share and had a rough end, and he did a lot of steroids. But when you look at the guys like Shamrock and Severn and Fry and Gracie and all those guys that are the OGs of it, you don't find many dudes like him. Shamrock just hit a great ankle lock and just tapped out the Sultan too. That was quick.
Which our prediction earlier, this wasn't really an eventful needle moving match. And the thing is like with Shamrock, Severn, and like the originals, it's a damn shame, especially with the type of money that UFC's making now. You think that they would cut those legends in with that, saying, "Hey, thank you for this. Thank you for you guys laying the path for us."
Don had many fights in Japan. That was his prime place to go, Jeremy, after leaving the UFC. And I do believe he fought Krokop. So one of the best fights he ever had, I'm forgetting the Japanese gentleman's name, where they literally just got in the middle of the ring, Chris, and just started punching each other in the face for about a minute straight. You'll never see anything like that ever again. It wasn't technically sound. Christ. It wasn't any of that. It was Rock'em Sock'em, man. They were just jacking each other right in the face. I forget the guy's name. It's like Tashumi or something like that. I'm sorry if I messed his name up. But just look at Don Fry's legendary fight in Japan. You'll find it. This guy's sat in the ring, Chris, and beat the fuck out of each other for just a minute straight. And they made it 2 rounds finally. And these guys did not stop for like 15
it bare
minutes.
Knuckle or did
it was Pride. It was Pride, so they had gloves.
Okay.
This guy was way bigger than him, though, too. And Don was a tremendous wrestler. Let's just throw this out there. He was an All-American at, I think it was Oklahoma or Oklahoma State. And this guy could go. Don Fry is one of the most tough sons of bitches ever. I wouldn't fuck with that guy in a million years, bro. No way.
Okay. What
about the movie No Holds Barred gave us the UFC. That's because we have Brell.
There you go. Thank you.
Don looked like jockass. Don looked like Magnum PI. He sure did. He's got a better mustache than Tom Selleck.
That is awesome.
I wish he stuck around longer to face Angle in 2002, Derek. They would have had a great match. Chris mentioned it earlier. It wouldn't be bigger for me for Angle than like a Bret Hart, but Man, him and Angle, Shamrock and Angle would have had a hell of a shoot fight, Chris.
Oh God, they would have, like without a shadow of a doubt. And I think Angle, he could have done mixed martial arts.
He could have done it anytime he wanted to. He wanted to. He just had the neck issues later on,
Yeah.
It was the wrong time. People don't realize, they realize Kurt's an Olympic gold medalist. Go watch his wrestling. If you ever want to see his amateur wrestling that's around, dude would have had his way with people in the UFC on the wrestling side of things.
I agree with that.
Would have had his way.
Oh, speaking of Kurt Angle, I actually watched a really good movie recently called Foxcatcher.
Yeah, about the camp he trained at.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
good movie.
And yeah.
Scary, right? With the craziness that went on.
Yes, and the thing is that it's crazy to think that Kurt was trained by these individuals.
Yeah, he was there right at the time that it all happened, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, or right around that time at least, or he'd been in and out of there around that time. Daniel says, I'd love to have seen Randy from No Holds Barred in the UFC. Take my money to see that slaughter.
Oh, God. Okay. Don Fry versus Haku in a fist fight. Who would win?
Oh, Don Fry will tell you right off the bat. He said it, that Haku is the toughest guy that he's ever met in the sport.
What?
Yeah, go listen
wow.
to this. It's on a Hannibal interview. He says it right there. He says that Haku's a sweetheart of a guy, like everybody says. I wouldn't fuck with Haku. Fucking Haku. He'd fucking pop your eyeballs out and eat it for fucking breakfast. That's fucking, he's unfuckwithable. I ain't messing with no Haku. I'm going into a fucking steakhouse with Haku.
Exactly.
Give me a little drink of that sake with him. You get that sake in him, he's taking out motherfucking Yakuza.
Motherfucker. That's what
he says it about Haku. He don't want to fuck with him either.
No.
Derek's a fan of the Foxcatcher movie too. If you guys never seen Foxcatcher, it's a great movie.
So, it is.
When you said Jackass, it made me think I can't wait for Happy Gilmore too. Yes.
Jackass.
I hope they bring that guy back if he's still alive.
Hey, Jackass.
Yeah, the UFC guys are lucky Haku came up in a different era, Daniel. That's for sure. Thank you.
It sucks that Happy Gilmore too. We don't have Mr. Carl Weathers.
I know.
It's all in the hip.
You know who's playing Chubbs?
Who?
You'll never guess, I bet. Take one guess who would be a good Chubbs.
Chris Rock?
Nope. Playing Chubbs' son, apparently, is going to be Tiger Woods. Yep. That's the rumor.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the rumor. And Happy Gilmore too. It's going to be Chubbs' son is going to be his teacher, whatever in there in the plot. Okay. It's going to be Tiger Woods. That's the rumor.
Okay. Oh, speaking of greatness, this is the promo that made The Rock.
This is the birth of it.
Yeah, the Die Rocky Die. This stopped Vince McMahon from firing The Rock. Literally, this promo was the one that stopped Vince McMahon from firing The Rock.
And this is what started the whole turn to make Rock the centerpiece of the Nation of Domination here in a short period of time.
That's correct. So, we're witnessing history, ladies and gentlemen.
When you let somebody go and you let them just do instead of scripting it for them, it makes a world of difference, doesn't it?
It does. And
you got to have bullet points, of course, and ideas on what you're going to talk about, but that's what I liked about this there. Yeah, there was some shitty promos, i.e. the Ultimate Warrior going off for 22 minutes,
Oh my God.
And there's plenty more to go with, but if you really want to let somebody build a character, you got to let them go and put everything into it. If you're just bullet pointing it, out and getting ideas, that's the way to do it, in my opinion. But I've never wrote promos or done them in front of wrestlers, or in a wrestling audience. So maybe I'm wrong, but I think it paid dividends for The Rock. Oh, get the Disciples of Apocalypse off here, please. This is fucking awful.
Nation of constipation. Ha 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 ha.
No offense to Bryan Adams, I love Bryan Adams, but when Bryan Adams is the mouthpiece for your group, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
The Rock is many things, but sucks is not one of them. Shooter McGavin is still probably getting beat up by Happy's former boss. Hey, Chris, Daniel, here we go. You talk about Shooter McGavin. I just got to throw that out there. We got to give him that.
Yeah.
Shooter's doing a signing up here in the summertime where I live.
Please tell me you're going.
Of course I'm going. It's at a baseball game, first off, and they're doing a Shooter signing. I think it's only like $25 for a meet and greet with him.
That's
You're
it?
damn right I'm getting Shooter McGavin.
That's a good deal.
Damn right. And it comes with I think it comes with your ticket. You know, it's like $25 for your ticket and for the signing, I believe.
That's fantastic. So
I'm going either way. I don't care if it's $50. I'm going to see Shooter. I love Shooter McGavin. Guy is such a
eat shit for breakfast? Hold on. Yeah.
Hey, Shooter, want to go to the Red Lobster? Has anyone seen Kurt Angle in the movie Warrior? Yes, I have seen that, Jeremy. It's a good movie, too. Tom Hardy, I believe, is in that one, if I remember correctly. Right, Jeremy?
Really? I've never seen that movie.
DOA was truly DOA the minute they came out. They were dead on arrival.
God,
yes, sir.
Terrible.
Shooter's going to bring in the tail like no tomorrow. Shooter's scoring prime tail anywhere he goes.
This is so
and Hulk Hogan too, Daniel. Because there's a Hulk Hogan signing up in New York City. I'm going to in the summertime, Chris.
Oh wow!
We got Trish Stratus at the local. We have this event in my town called the Speedy Fest. It's a meet that's famous around here, and they bring hot air balloons, carnival stuff, whatever. Trish Stratus is one of the headliners for celebrities they're bringing in.
Oh, that's awesome, right there.
I'm going to see my number one all-time GOAT for ladies, Trish. I'm going to see Hogan in the city and Shooter McGavin. I'm all down for that. Yep, Tom Hardy's in it.
Trish, I would say, you know what? Would you say she's the GOAT of all female wrestlers?
For me, yes.
Yeah, I would have to say either her or Charlotte. I would say the two greatest.
Trish is my GOAT, but I know everybody's different. Who's everybody out there in the streams? Who's your GOAT? Who's your favorite female wrestler of all time? I want to hear it.
No, mine's Charlotte.
You're gonna go with Charlotte? She's your GOAT?
Yeah.
Trish is mine. I bet you Daniels is gonna be. I'm gonna take a guess on Daniels. It's gonna be Trish.
Because I understand. Gonna go with Trish.
Jeremy, man, I gotta go with.
Naya's not going to be listening tonight, so I can be honest.
Yeah, I don't know the newer gentleman coming to the stream. Your personality's enough yet to pick yours. So yeah, Daniels is 100%. Jeremy's, man, I'd have to go with Jeremy. I think maybe Charlotte might be for him.
Okay,
I could be wrong though.
I gotcha.
Stacy's legs, he says. Yes. Just never watched the Angle movie with Sid and Kevin Nash. Ultimate trash. I think it was called River of Darkness.
Really?
Oh, boy.
Oh. Sid did a movie?
Yes.
Oh,
I've seen it. I've seen it on the DVD bin with glaciers.
Oh, my God. Which I wonder, the movie that Glacier wanted to promote, I wonder how much money it made at the box office.
Fucking zero. That went straight to DVD. Jesse James Armstrong's here coming out with My Baby Tonight.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
Sing
about.
it, Chris. Look at Vlad. Vlad got a hug from Jesse.
The road, hands on the clock and running too slow. I gonna in my baby tonight.
What a good song. All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Jeremy's taking Trish. Rand's taking Trish. All right. Derek, who do you got, Derek? I want to hear Derek's pick if Derek's still watching right now. Anybody else? Throw your picks out there.
And but definitely the female match of the year last year, it was a steel cage match between Becky and Trish.
What a match between those two.
Absolute phenomenal storytelling.
I went back and watched it just because you and Daniel told me that I needed to. I think I was out of town or something like that. And I don't usually go watch the pay-per-views when I'm out after, I already know what happens. So I don't usually go watch matches unless people tell me you got to watch it. And you and Daniel both told me at the time, you said, you got to go check that match out. Like, don't not watch this match between you'll regret it if you don't. And I've seen it at least I think 3 times now. It's a great match. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorite female matches ever was those two.
Oh yeah.
Storytelling at its finest from two great workers.
I agree 1,000%. And Becky
who wasted film on Glacier.
That's a really good point. You're wasting a valuable resource.
Here's Pillman in his dress right now.
This is terrible.
You know what I love about Pillman, though, Chris?
He
doesn't care. He'll do anything.
I know.
The guy, you could just tell, man. He would do anything.
Yeah.
His ECW shit was the best.
It was. I'm going to
When he
pull
whipped his
out
cock
my.
out right in the middle of the ring and tried to piss and urinate all over the ring.
Yes, that is outstanding. He didn't
Great
care.
match, Jeremy. NXT
Speaking
Brooklyn.
Speaking of ECW, I actually went back and watched the Rise and Fall of ECW, the documentary on the network, and
Good documentary.
outstanding documentary. And that made me go down like a rabbit hole, like was watching like a bunch of old ECW content, and I'm thinking to myself that I've been way too harsh when it comes to the company, because there's a lot of good moments.
We did a watch along to it last week. We had a great one from One Night Stand, which we and you have done before, which was Awesome and Tanaka. And
Yes.
we've done that before. That was Jeremy's pick. And then we did an RVD versus Sabu from 96 from Matter of Respect. It was dreadful.
Yeah. It's either hit or miss, in my opinion.
Dude, Rand's got a good point here. This is who gave the world attitude, Brian Pillman. You know, I got to say, that's a good point. Brian Pillman brought a whole new level of craziness and attitude to the WWF that really hadn't been seen until he came back.
I agree 1,000%. I would say that Pillman, he was a catalyst for that. And I would have to say as well with the Attitude Era that once again, like we're talking about ECW, they were a huge catalyst because, with all due respect, with the former head writers that claim that they never watched ECW.
Bullshit.
Okay, I'm sorry, but they stole the Attitude Era from ECW.
1,000%. They definitely incorporated it into a ton. Yeah, Pillman and ECW Rand is awesome. If anybody's never seen Pillman stuff in ECW, you got to go check it out and just look up some clips. Yeah. It was off the chain. It's crazy.
Yes, really, Daniel.
Waylon Mercy. Yes. I got an autographed Waylon Mercy right on my wall.
That is awesome.
I love me some Waylon Mercy. I'd love when he come out, he'd shake everybody's hand on the way to the ring and stuff. He's like the nicest dude. The catalyst behind Bray Wyatt.
Then he would shake their hand and whip their ass.
Yep.
Lives are about to be in Waylon Mercy's hands.
I can't wait till we get to the Goldust Tourette syndrome stuff.
Yeah.
My gosh, that shit was hilarious. When you put it up a few months ago on the page, when he told the story about it, and people would come up to him and he would act it out in the airport and shit. Just tremendous stuff. People I love that.
Sitting on the airplane with Bob Holly, and Bob Holly would say, do it. And he's like, fuck, titties, God, cocks. And he's like, is he okay? Yeah, he's fine.
If you got Bob Holly's miserable ass to laugh, you knew that you were doing something good.
I agree.
That guy didn't laugh much. Him and Greg Valentine were right up there with probably the two of the most miserable sons of bitches ever.
But I got to give credit to Holly. I think Holly was a phenomenal.
You love him, man. I don't think so, but I'm not saying he's a bad worker, but I was never a big fan of Bob Holly, but that's just me. But I respect other people's opinions. I know you love him. Jeremy says, I think his home invasion with Austin was a big starting point of the Attitude Era. 1,000%. I mean, people thought that it was legitimately a murder at that house, and they're calling the cops.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Now, speaking of the whole thing with the Attitude Era, what do you think about modern wrestlers stating that the new era is bigger than the Attitude Era?
They're fucking crazy. They're crazy.
You gotta let it simmer, okay? You can't just say, well, things have been going good for 18 months, so it's bigger than the Attitude Era.
It says Sparky Plug would have won the WWE Speed title.
That would have been awesome. Just imagine.
Oh, Rand says Triple H and Goldust, long storytelling from New Generation. And then Daniel says the Goldust Triple H segment in the ring and Triple H bursting out in laughter. That's when you know you're good, when you get somebody to break character in the middle of the ring. In the middle of the promo.
Cockles.
Oh, look at how young Michael Cole is here as he's got the microphone for Goldust and Marlena.
Well,
dude, Michael Cole looks like a child there.
He does. A fun fact for you guys, you might not realize this. This storyline is actually based off of a real life relationship that Brian had with Terry. Brian was with Terry before Dustin.
In the WCW days, right? When
Yep.
she was like Alexandra York or something.
Yep. And like you got
There was
Brian
a lot of
Pillman.
guys that the stories have been told, Chris. There was a lot of guys that were with her back in the day.
No.
That's why I think I remember hearing this. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not saying this is fact, but I'm pretty sure I remember hearing this, that Dusty didn't like her because of a lot of the things that she did, like when she met or before she met Dustin, that he thought she had bad intentions. And I'm not saying she's like that, but that's what I've heard.
What's well publicized, she's the reason why Dustin and Dusty had their rift, and like they didn't talk for years.
Yep.
So
good point, Daniel. Michael Cole's only a month or so away from DX starting to torment him, and they tormented him good. Talk about a guy that paid his dues, Chris, and got fucked with by people. It was definitely Michael Cole.
I agree 1,000%, and now he's one of the greatest announcers in the history of the business.
Terry, oh God, you definitely hit your peak in the late 90s. Woof, she's looking rough these days.
Oh, yeah.
Red Rooster was her first.
Oh, yeah. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
She was with New Jack, Rand. That's a fact, too.
Oh, God.
She was with Mr. New Jack.
Well, a fun fact, actually, the show that me and Daniel went to whenever we saw Mr. Anderson and Mr. Karrion Kross, freaking Terry was there, and she was drunk off her ass.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
She was supposed to show up for like the meet and greet. Basically, her meet and greet was free with the tickets. And she didn't even show up for that. So yeah, she just showed up when the show started.
Yeah.
Holding a dog drunk.
She was holding a dog too?
Holding a dog drunk.
Jeez. Somebody should have called fucking animal control on her.
Yes.
Daniel says the same thing you did. She said she couldn't make the meet and greet, but she sure made the bar time though. Yes. Love the fireworks every time they start the new hours off. I always I miss pyro like this on the shows.
Hold on. Was this Trump Plaza, or was this the?
No, this is the Atlantic City Convention Center. So if you've ever been to Atlantic,
this is a big convention center.
It's not that big. It actually, if you've ever been around it or seen it, I think it maybe holds. I'm probably a little off on this. I think it holds maybe about 8,000 or 9,000 people, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
So it looks much bigger because of the dynamic to it, but I'd like to say it's 8,000 or 9,000 people, maybe 10 tops. Let me look it up actually. So if I'm way wrong, I'm way wrong. I'm sorry, but just from my perceptions from being there. Let's see, how many people can it hold?
Good God, these people.
There's some interesting folks.
Okay, how would you rate them on your Ugo meter?
They're up there, but they're not as bad.
Like they're not Tennessee.
No, not even close. They're not touching that one. It ain't happening. Nope. All right. So the convention center here, here's a fun fact about this. It just opened up in 1997 on May 1st.
Really?
Yeah, it just opened up.
Okay.
So it can fit, it says, I don't know, that's the Boardwalk Hall. It's a different one. Let's see.
So this place was brand new whenever they were.
Brand new at this point. So this is brand new at this point. So it said it was built in 97, hosts 500,000 visitors annually. It's 1 million square feet to it, which, it sounds huge, and it is, but it's not as huge as you think. It's got over 1,400 parking spots. It's got a pedestrian bridge that links it to hotels. It's got all these other different features I'm not going to go over because it's too much. And are they going to tell us how many people it fits?
All right, guys. You think you think about it. 1 million square feet is 5 Walmarts. That's it. Because like the average Walmart is 198,000 square feet. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. It looks like it can hold No, that's wrong. That's for the one near it.
What's that?
10,000.
10,000. Damn.
Can fit up to 10,000 people, it says.
Okay.
With certain, for large events with spacing, it could bring your vision to life. It can hold up to 10,000.
Do you think AEW could sell that out?
I don't know. They don't go up in the north a ton, so maybe.
I think a big problem they've had is like they've burnt out the places they've gone to because they go to them so freaking much.
Yeah. It was great to see Lillian on Monday with Samantha. Yeah, it was nice to see Lillian back, Jeremy, 100%. You have Scarlett in the building, and you ran through Terry, completely different sections of the spectrum. Warzone time. Yes, sir, Ran. It is Warzone. We're kicking it off.
Oh, here we
WWF
go.
wanted the building to pop some cherries and do it.
Oh.
This was one of their first big events. Yes, sir, it was, Rand. This was just barely open at this point. It holds 5 Walmarts at one time, and Barry Horowitz would hate it 5 times more. He hates Walmart, man. I don't know why he hates it.
I don't know, John. Maybe if you would stop running your mouth about Walmart, Mr. Horowitz wouldn't have the bad impression that he has. Just saying.
He got a great promo on us that time, by the way.
He did.
He made me laugh.
Shout out to Mr. Horowitz. All right. Mr.
You couple of jabrones.
The Snack Shack.
I hear you're working at Walmart, and I'm going to come over there and then take you out in the Snack Shack. I got to find that video one of these days.
That is awesome.
Oh, because I'm Mr. Technical.
Yes. All right. So this, goddamn. He wants to act like he's a legend. I'm sorry.
I'll meet Barry wearing a Walmart shirt. Dude, it's so sad to see Vader at this point, man. I was such a huge Vader fan in the early 90s as a heel. And I mean, he killed everybody. Everybody.
Yep.
Like, he was like unstoppable in Japan and WCW. And then this WWF run was just the worst. It was.
And the thing is that once again, the feud that killed his run, it was with Shawn Michaels, SummerSlam 96. And
think of what Leon White could have done to Shawn Michaels if he would have got his fucking hands on him.
He could have fucking destroyed him.
He's sure lucky that Kevin Nash was around at that point in time, or else a lot of people would have really beat the shit out of Shawn.
I agree 1,000%.
Man, I'm not fucking with Leon White in his heyday, even at this point in time. No way.
Just imagine Vader doing mixed martial arts.
Vader was on Boy Meets World a bunch of times, Ran. I was actually watching Boy Meets World the other day. I go back occasionally at nighttime and I'll watch old shows and fall asleep too. And I threw Boy Meets World on, and he came in the episode where Joey the Rat took on Corey for the spot on the wrestling team. And they introduced him on the show for the first time. And Mr. Feeney takes him down by calling him Leslie. Don't make me tell your name. Leslie. You wouldn't, Feeney. We'll have another match again. We're going to have a death match. Yeah.
The White Castle.
The White Castle of Fear. Fucking love Vader. Imagine the fact that Vader no longer cared, and imagine how bad his gear stunk after not caring. Yes.
Oh my God.
Vader was the first person to kick the crap out of Sting. You're right, Jerry. He killed him. They had a great feud in 92-ish. I think it was 92.
He did. I one of like my favorite Ric Flair feuds was the one with Vader.
It was great stuff. Great stuff. Daniel says, I talk garbage to Vader if I had Haku with me. He might even clear some people out for me just out of fear.
That's right. So, like, wasn't Vader like the bully's dad?
Yeah, he was Frankie, the guy that was played by, he was really big at the time. I think his name was like Ethan Suplee or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
He was the guy from American History X, and he lost all that weight, but that was his dad in the show. That was the role he had. He was on maybe, I'd like to say at least maybe 3 to 5 episodes.
Freaking Ethan looks phenomenal now.
Boy, he lost like 2 people compared to where he was at. What an impressive turnaround for him.
Oh,
God bless him for it too, bro.
Oh yeah, like without a shadow of a doubt.
what motivation it is for people that want to make some changes. You know, you put in the hard work like that guy did, and look at the dividend or the results. You know, of it.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And beautiful.
As much as I like the Patriot, this is kind of the sad state of Vader at this time, because let's be realistic. In Vader's heyday, even a few years before this, there ain't no way the Patriot's even lasting 5 minutes with Vader.
No, I agree.
Vader would have squashed him easy.
I agree 1,000%. And what you call it? I'm actually happy because this weekend I really have nothing planned. I don't have to worry about my anniversaries. I ain't got to worry about Mother's Day. I ain't got to worry about surprise visits to the surprise concerts. So I can actually do my show. I promise you guys I will. Okay. Last weekend, it was my anniversary. So yeah,
your anniversary is just a little bit more important.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
So I will be doing the show at 10 p.m. tomorrow night, Passion for Pro Wrestling. I promise you guys it's coming back. Just
all right.
Hang in there. All right.
Vader wasn't the same, Derek said in WWF. Pritchard said he was a shell of himself after he got punked backstage by Orndorff right before he left. Yeah, I could imagine that definitely impacted him, you know, Derek. The rumor always was that Orndorff fucking ragdolled him, and he did it in a pair of flip-flops. So
what? Flip-flops?
Flip-flops. Like, you got to look up the Vader Orndorff story from what, you know, from it being told from the people that were there. I think Orndorff even told it at one point on an interview. Just look it up. He was in his fucking flip-flops, and he was an agent in WCW, and Vader was being a diva about doing a promo or something that they were taping for the show. And he got up in Orndorff's face, and Orndorff gave him a few chances to get the fuck out of his face. And Orndorff in his flip-flops ended up taking him out quick. So that's how tough Paul Orndorff was too. Another guy, tough as nails. No pun intended to that piece of shit, nails.
Wow, I don't blame. Which I don't blame Orndorff for doing that.
Topanga got all excited about the wrestling episode, and now she wants to be put through a table.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Patriot and WCW versus WWF. Who you picking, guys? Rand posted that question. Even though it's short-lived, I'm going WWF.
I would say WCW simply because he was in better shape then, like when it comes to like his health. And
this was the biggest push of his career. It just didn't last.
I know.
He had a great run in WCW though.
But at the same time though, this is the feud that actually got me hooked as a fan. So like
I loved him in Bagwell and Stars and Stripes. I know that's a little bit before your era, Chris, but do you remember that at all?
Yes, I do actually.
I love that. I loved them as a kid, bro, when I was watching them. Stars and Stripes.
Yes. And I first discovered the Patriot through this, but then I would go on ESPN Classic at the time. They would show the UWF show.
It was the Global Wrestling, actually.
Global Wrestling.
Yeah, yes, I think it was called the GWF, the Global Wrestling.
GWF. I'm sorry, guys.
It was on ESPN after school. I would watch it every day after school. Yes. And I believe it was every day after school. It was on like 4 o'clock or 3:30 or something. And I would watch it religiously, you know.
The Global Dome.
Yeah, the Global Dome. And I remember that's when I got introduced to the Patriot, the Texas Hangman, a bunch of other guys. Bagwell was in there at one point too. I think as the Handsome Stranger.
Yes, and that's the first time that I watched Jerry Lynn. Sean Waltman actually. Jerry and Sean Waltman got noticed on a national stage through their feud in the GWF.
Yeah, it was around for a while too. I think it was around for at least like 5-6 years. Maybe I'm a little off on the timing, but it definitely had its run. Jeremy said, speaking of Boy Meets World, I read that Topanga wants to go through a table in a wrestling company before she's unable to take the bump. I say Bubba Ray needs to do the honors. If anybody's going to do it, it's got to be Uncle Bully.
Uncle Bully and flat out one of like my favorite shows to listen to. It is hands down every single Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Bully After Dark. Absolutely love it.
I love it too. I think it's great. He's fucking awesome, Bully. You know, to me, I love his perspectives. Such a dick, but he doesn't hide it, and I love it. So
No.
Vader was punished around this time for getting a wrestler for getting arrested in another country too, Derek. Yeah, the Kuwaiti incident, and then they had the issues with him and his weight, and they sent him and Yokozuna to go get their weight under control, and they ended up coming back from the diet facility that they had sent him to, the diet rehab, whatever you want to call it, the Fat Boy Center, whatever the words. They came back weighing more and were fatter, and they were ordering out cheeseburgers and pizzas and getting them snuck in for them. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chris, take the reins just for a minute, please.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Have fun. Oh, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're showing the footage of Owen Hart doing the sit-down pile driver on Steve Austin, which this could have easily paralyzed Austin. As a matter of fact, this is the injury that shortened his career substantially. And the thing is that it's sad because, dare I say, if this would have never occurred, Austin, he could have been wrestling through the mid 2000s. But unfortunately, once this happened, he was on borrowed time. So I'm glad that we were able to actually see Stone Cold make his return and facing Kevin Owens. That was a great way to go out. But one match that I would have loved to have seen with Austin would have been versus CM Punk. I think if the stars would have aligned, I think Punk and Austin, that would have been amazing. All right, so Bubba needs to do the honors. Vader was punished. Okay, Mae Young is tougher than Dixie Carter. She took the Bubba Bomb off the stage. Dixie's version was weak. Amen to that, Jeremy. I agree 1,000%. It was the nail in Owen's coffin to ever get another chance with Austin and never apologizing. I agree 1,000%. And this 1 week from Chris Reeve Superman broke his neck. Really? I did not know that. And it breaks my heart that we live in a world where literally Superman couldn't walk. I mean, yeah. You talk about a cruel reality of life. Now, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin sitting down with JR. And the thing is that you have to respect the toughness of Steve Austin, because the thing is that he got hurt, he got dumped on his head, and he's still making appearances. He's still doing work. And the thing is that speaks to his passion and his drive, which led to Steve becoming one of the greatest of all time. So, I mean, just sometimes you got to make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. And I think Steve, he's the definition of that. So let's see what JR says here. All right. So what is this future going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Steve Austin says, my future is that I'm the Intercontinental Champion, right? Okay, then. All right, here we go. Austin did some in WCW 5 years before he was dumped on his head. Yeah, you're right, Ren. I got you, my friend. All right. The injury made him even more over, as much as it sucks, stunning all the authority figures and commentators put him on a different level. Oh, yeah. And without a shadow of a doubt, think about it from this perspective. If the injury would never happen, would we have had that moment with Vince McMahon, and which many people, they consider the biggest feud of all time in wrestling, Austin versus McMahon. So I'm just saying, you talk about a series of events. All right, hold on. All right. Okay. So we got Steve Austin. He says, bottom line, I don't care what the specialists say. I'm going to heal on my own. I'm going to kick ass. I'm going to take names. And this is the deal. It's going to happen on my terms, and you got to respect it. All right. And Mr. Derek said, while Austin was injured here and still making appearances, he stunned Vince for the first time and said robbery in emotion. Yep, I agree 1,000%. and you talk about something that was the catalyst for the Attitude Era, I think that is the most important feud within the Attitude Era, and I would have to say the biggest feud of the. I would say, you know what? There's no exception. The biggest feud of the past 30 years, period, was Austin versus McMahon. So here we go. Vince McMahon, did Eric Bischoff copy Piper with WCW? Yes, I agree 1,000% with that. You see certain things that Vince McMahon was inspired by, and like the authority figure, like with Bischoff, he did it a lot sooner than McMahon. So like McMahon claims he didn't watch anything. I don't believe that. All right, here we go. I think Vince eventually gets stunned, but it would have taken way longer. Oh yeah, I agree 1,000%. And think about it, that if it would have taken longer, would a World Championship Wrestling, would they have dominated longer? The guy knew he was on borrowed time after this injury, and it lit the world on fire. Oh yeah, like without a shadow of a doubt, man. Very few people had such a large impact within such a short period of time. And think about it, guys. Austin being on top, he was on top for like a short period of time from like 98 through 2001. So I'm just saying, guys, it's just crazy that he did so much in such a short period of time. And he was also hurt again during that period of time, because we talk about 1999, he had to go for surgery again. And he didn't return from November of 99 until September of 2000. So think about it, guys. Within like that short 3-year period where he was on top, he was out for 9 months. So yeah. All right, here we go. Excuse me, 10 months. All right, here we go. We got Hunter Hearst, Helmsley, ladies and gentlemen. With Chyna. We're gonna say it like the former president, Chyna. Mr. King of the Ring, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, 1997. So think about it, guys. If the curtain call would have never happened, and if Hunter would have won the King of the Ring, would we have had Austin being as big as he was? Because Austin, 96 King of the Ring, that set off the Stone Cold character and just history, man. Just there's so many things that you can look into. Like, what if certain things would have occurred, wouldn't have occurred, and how history would be different. Just saying, guys. You look at the curtain call that cost Hunter the King of the Ring in 96. Then you look at Steve Austin being dumped on his neck, which led to the feud with Vince. I mean, just so many things, guys. It's fun to talk about. It really, really is. Okay.
Rock versus Triple H's second storylines that set the Attitude on fire. Great point.
I agree.
Even though the stunner is a great move, I wish he would have used the stun gun after the $1 Million Dream. I like that finisher from the stun gun. Do you remember that from WCW?
Oh, the stun gun is outstanding.
Grant says it would stay course. Daniel says Hunter wasn't ready either. In 96, he needed time to find his character, and he wouldn't have had Chyna. Good point.
Yeah, because like the curtain call is what stopped Hunter's push.
And let's be real, too. That fucking music he just came out to, the Greenwich Snob music, was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody gave a shit about him until Shawn Michaels helped bring him in, and they gave him this more edgy role.
I agree. And Hunter was able to show more of his true personality. And
I love how Mick is using all these different personalities at this point and incorporating them. And 1 week you're getting the Dude, the next weekend you're getting Mankind. I love it.
Oh, Mick is doing a phenomenal job. Oh yeah. Speaking of Dude Love, I am going to be posting a video, which I'll do it after midnight because I post new content daily, of Vince Russo and Dude Love, and backstage footage of both of them. And this is before Dude Love debuted. And this was right before he went out in front of the crowd for the first time, like with a Dude Love gimmick. So like, it's a really, really cool video. I'll post it
Chris, have you listened to Undertaker as Undertaker's coming out now? Have you listened to his podcast, 6 Feet Under?
I've listened to clips. I haven't listened to full episodes.
Jeremy got me hooked on it, dude. It's a fucking great podcast. I love it. It's super fucking funny. He's a funny guy, bro.
He is.
He's a funny guy, man. Great storyteller. Just love the podcast. He's not sold on it though. He keeps saying he doesn't know if he's going to stick with it because it's hard for him to do, and he doesn't like to divulge secrets because he's old school, and he just said he knows it's successful already, but he's having trouble wanting to continue on with it because it just for him still is hard to kind of expose certain things.
Oh yeah. And the thing is that like with the Undertaker, dare I say, okay, I'm not saying he's the greatest pro wrestler of all time, but would you say he's one of, if not the greatest sports entertainer of all time?
He's definitely up in contention.
Okay.
No doubt about it. He's in contention.
Without
legend is the Undertaker. Vince Russo isn't a hit cat daddy. He finally let the guard down. He has some skeletons he'll never let out. Yep. There's certain things he said he won't talk about. He hasn't divulged what they are, but he said his co-host, who's one of his close personal friends, says that there's things he will not talk about. Grant says the Undertaker is WWE, heart and soul.
I think he knows certain things about Vince McMahon he will never go public with because he's so close to Vince. I think Shawn Michaels and Vince, they're probably the two closest. No, wait, hold on. Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker, like they're probably like the two closest to Vince. And no matter what happens, they will always have that love and respect for him.
Chris, do you have to go to work at 10? Because I don't want to make you late.
I'm good. I got like a few minutes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I don't want to make you late to work.
I got you. I
know you work the overnight shift. I don't want you to have hard times because you're late to work, baby.
Oh, you're good. Because like literally all I gotta do is just throw on like my shoes and just run outside to the car. I'm good.
All right.
Because
sure.
You're good because it's only like a 2-minute drive for me.
All right. Shawn and Vince, they were definitely close. Shawn was a big pain in the ass to him. I'd love to hear more about their relationship. Shawn's never really talked about it that I can remember. Can you?
No, I don't think he has either. And Shawn, I think he realizes that Vince was which of course Shawn's talent, yes, that did get him far, but I think that Shawn realizes that if it wasn't for Vince, he wouldn't be as nearly as well off as he is, and he wouldn't have had the career that he had. So
I think if anybody knows the skeletons in the closet of Vince McMahon more than anybody, it's Triple H.
Oh God, yeah. The God honest truth, which I love Hunter. I think he's doing a hell of a job right now, but I'm surprised he's still with the company, especially knowing his connection with Vince. But maybe Hunter's the type of person where he minded his business in certain extents and just let Vince be Vince and say, hey, that I don't agree with what he's doing, but I have no involvement,
I think it's one of those things that he tolerated it because it was his father-in-law and his wife's father, and I think he just tolerated it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't like him or anything like that, but I think it was one of those things he just tolerated him. I mean, when your own kids turn on you and really don't want anything to do with you either, you got some issues.
That would break my heart, John. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if my kids wanted nothing to do with me.
Makes you wonder how Shawn got the boy toy gimmick name, yeah. Right, Jeremy? Good point.
Well, Vince did name toys after, never mind.
Shawn will never really touch on it. He knows there's more than what was shown. Obviously, Shawn got away with things and with Vince that no one else would. Yeah, he definitely did.
Here comes the ravishing one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the birth of DX.
This is when it's good, when the ravishing run is coming out with them.
And it got shortened because right after the Montreal Screwjob, Rick Rude quit.
Yeah, and he didn't have a contract with them, I don't think, either. I think he was just on a per appearance deal.
Yep, and that's why he was able to appear on Nitro Live and then he was on a taped episode of Raw on the same exact night. That's crazy, man.
I think the only person that really kept Shawn Michaels in line at this point in time when he was off his rocker and just being a complete asshole and just a troublemaker that he was at the time. And I think the only person that actually really kept him in line in the whole company, I don't think it was Vince McMahon. I think Vince had a little bit to it. It was the Undertaker, I think.
Oh yeah, like without a doubt. I mean, and
he was the locker room leader. He put up with nobody shit.
What? Okay, so I'm trying to think. There's a story where Shawn Michaels, he was high, he was showing his ass, and the Undertaker said that if you go out and you do something, I'm going to whip your ass. And Hunter warned him. I forgot what that was. Was it over WrestleMania 14 or something? I'm trying to think.
I think it might have been with WrestleMania 14.
Okay, you
don't. Play. I know what you're talking about. I think it was around WrestleMania 14.
The Undertaker, he had like his hands taped up. Yeah.
Rand says that was Christmas time. Okay, so it was right around that time frame. Daniel says Vince taught Triple H all the business side of the business. He took him under his wing. Hunter knows way more than he'll ever say to. Yeah, he's never going to divulge it either.
No,
he's too much of a pro. Taker was going to beat Shawn up if he didn't go out there and do the job at WrestleMania 14.
That's it.
There it is.
Okay.
Rick was still there. When did Rick leave WWF? I know it wasn't a long run here with them at this point. When did he leave, guys? I don't remember.
November of 97.
No, oh, yeah, with the screw job. So it was 100% he left at that time, right?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why. And I know you just said that. There was like this part of me that thought he was still there after for whatever reason.
Because the Bulldog quit. Jimmy Anvil Neidhart quit. There was a bunch of people that quit. Mick Foley, he quit for one night.
Yeah, he got his job back.
And he got his job back, yeah.
He said it, while he stood by what his decision was, I heard him tell this story on his podcast when he had it going.
Yeah.
He said, he thought it was the right thing and he was pissed about it. And then the next morning he woke up thinking about what he just did and that he had a family and kids and stuff and that it might not have been a good move.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like with me and you. Like, there's certain things that we're not happy with, like within our work environment that we feel that could be improved. But we're not just going to randomly quit and be like, fuck it, because we recognize, hey, we got families to take care of.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be something, at your job that's never going to be perfect. I mean, if it was the perfect thing, then, I don't know what to say because I don't think I work, I love my employer now, but nothing is perfect. There's always something. You just can't up and quit, unless you're loaded and rich, and have more money than you need. So I know I couldn't. But I'm not rich, so.
Well, if the fans here want to help us out, I mean, me and John would love to have this be our exclusive job.
Would be nice.
One day, maybe. It
would be nice. I think TKO would make a horrible mistake if they ever terminated Triple H. I don't think they ever will. There's no reason to.
No.
To me, there's no reason. Why?
He's doing such a good job right now.
And he's not the type of guy that's going to undermine them without Vince being there. He's a professional.
I agree 1,000%. And his creative is just outstanding. The return of long-term storytelling. That's my favorite part about the Triple H era. And I love it.
The announcement today with the King of the Ring that the winner of the King and Queen of the Ring is going to get a world title shot at SummerSlam.
The last time that happened, it was in 2002, actually.
Great sell by Shawn Michaels on that punch press. Wow.
Oh!
Who sells better, you think? Shawn Michaels or Dolph Ziggler?
Dolph.
You think Dolph? I gotta go.
Dolph's the greatest seller of all time. And I know some people might not agree with me on that, but... Yeah.
All right, let me throw another name in there. Ricky Morton.
Oh, God, yeah.
Ricky, Dolph, or Shawn? Who's a better seller?
You know what? I take that back. Ricky. I forgot about Ricky.
Yeah. I got to go with Ricky Morton, too, to be honest with you. To me, it would go Ricky, Shawn, and then Dolph just a little bit behind. Oh, Daniel's got a good one here. Mr. Perfect. Fuck, how did I forget that? Rand said Ric Flair. 5 great picks there. That's a hard choice when you think of those two. how long before Tony
God.
joins the Elite and is Bischoff in that junior high NWO. Me and Chris were talking about that beforehand, Derek, and like it's if it ain't coming this weekend, Daniel Bryan's doing the turn. One or the other. Somebody's going heel. It's got to be Tony Khan, though. He's ripping WCW off. If he does that, he's so stupid. He's going to get just castrated by the internet wrestling community.
Has Bischoff already called him out for it?
A little bit, but you can tell he's kind of holding that one close to him for when he does it. I think he wants him to do it, but I think he wants him to do it just so he can bury him on his show.
Oh, one of like my favorite YouTube shows. It is called Unwise Choices with Eric Bischoff.
Wise Choices.
Wise Choices. Sorry. Wise.
That's on their YouTube channel. Jeremy's going with Flair as his top seller of all time.
Oh God, Flair, as a human being, he's a sack of shit.
Look at the blood all over there from the chair shot with that bent chair shot on Taker. Jeez, dude, that was unprotected.
God, that is crazy.
Well, that wraps up Raw for tonight, guys. Chris, I know you got to get to work, so let's do this really fast. What do you give this? A thumbs up, a thumbs down, or in the middle?
I would say thumbs up. It was a fairly entertaining show. It was fun to watch. I mean, like there was nothing that really stuck out, but it was good. I can't really say that it was. Oh my God, it was outstanding. For me, like the main thing like that made it for me. It was the Rick Rude. His appearance and threading that throughout the show. The Steve Austin thing with him being injured, like the storyline from SummerSlam with Owen Hart, all that stuff. The stuff like with Brian Pillman and Goldust, they did a really good job.
I would agree. Overall, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It wasn't like a blow you away type one. It was fringing on in the middle for me, but I'm going to give it a thumbs up too. I think it was good. It was fun. So
yeah,
need a Derrick Henry jersey. Daniel said, or Chris said, excuse me, Jeremy. He says, Chris, you need a Derrick Henry jersey. Daniel said, another enjoyable show, brothers. Always enjoyed the time. Thanks, guys. Yeah, Daniel's doing the Piper rant says. All right, everybody. Well, we are going to sign off for tonight. It's going to wrap us up. Make sure you come back over the weekend. The radio shows will be on. We'll post the links up for it. And it's every Saturday and Sunday at 9 to 10 p.m. We hope you come out and join us. We always have some fun on there. Chris will be back tomorrow with his Passion for Pro Wrestling show after SmackDown. And have no fear. We'll be back all week long next week again with some more great streams, some more great stuff. We so appreciate you guys coming out. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks, Derek. Thanks, Rand. Thanks, Daniel, Jeremy.
We love you guys.
Anybody else that's just been watching, we appreciate it. So we're going to sign off. We'll see you guys again really soon, and hope you have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe out there, and you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. So for Chris, I'm John. We are out of here. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Retro Wrestling Revival.
That's right, baby.